It's your boy Willy Will. You know I'm rocking with YouKnowIGotSoul.com. Check it out, check it out, check it out. You dig?
You originally started out, working with Static. So how did you get a chance to meet Static?
It's crazy because we are from Louisville, of course, and I think I was just doing some beats around the city, and I think at the time, when we finally bumped paths, I had pretty much everybody in the city who did music was coming to my house, and I met Static. I think it was a guy named Toy. I mean, he's just one of my homeboys who used to buy beats, and I guess he was real cool with Static and Smokey, and he played some music that we had did for them, and they wanted to meet me. I would say it kind of happened from us just being, putting in work in the city and getting our name out. Word of mouth just kind of led us to each other.
Okay. Now, tell me a little bit about what it was like working with Static.
Well, I mean, Static was like, man, I owe Static everything I know, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't get to do, a shitload of songs together, but what I learned from him was just kind of priceless. Like, I really learned about work ethic. I learned about, how to put a song together in a complete song. Because, Static kind of pulled us directly from the basement. So, some of the stuff that he exposed me to was brand new. And I had a chance to be a sponge and soak it all up. But, I learned how to, like, put in those grueling hours and, never being tired, wanting to do one more song, do one more thing, just never being satisfied, wanting to put in more and more work. And that's really what he was all about. And that's really what I took from him the most was just really the work ethic. You know what I mean? So I think from him, I really just learned more about, like I said, work ethic and just learning how to do this music shit seriously. Like, and he was the first professional I ever worked with. So, it was kind of a big eye-opener for me.
Yeah, definitely. And just one last question about Static. Of course, with the general public, they only know Static, with Lollipop and maybe the Aaliyah stuff. What do you think needs to be done to, keep his legacy alive?
Well, shit, man. Static, man, it's like he left a lot of good records. Like, I mean, this dude had so many songs, like dope-ass songs, and if we could just find a way to get them out, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know how we're gonna do that. I don't know if it's gonna be an album or if we're just gonna play some on people, but I mean, to keep his name out, I think we just keep the music coming because he left a lot of music. Kind of like a Tupac. When Tupac went away, Tupac had, hard drives full of music. So it's like, Static kind of left, I mean, I know I heard at least 100 songs. And I know that's not even the tip of the iceberg with how many he actually had. So I think he left enough music to keep his name hot. It's just a matter of getting the music to the right people and doing the right things with it.
Yeah. Now let's talk about you. I know you're currently working with Polo the Don. So how did you originally hook up with him?
Well, I'm not currently working with him. I guess you can say we're still really cool. We do some work together, but it was I lived in Atlanta from 2003 up until this year. So I kind of in a way, I kind of paid my dues through the whole Atlanta circuit. I was working with the Addict crew and the Bo Hagans and the Playboy Trays and Pretty Ken and Big Floaty and Big Jimmy, Fourth Generation, and all these people were tied together in some kind of way. Like when I first moved to Atlanta, I was in Southwest Atlanta every day, and of course that's where all of these guys are from. Like so, I was just kind of like the little fly on the wall kid who had beats, and they liked them. And then a good friend of mine named Baku, who went to Morehouse with Polo, actually started doing some work with me. We did a bunch of songs together, and that's how Polo first heard my music, was through Baku. And we had a studio session one day. Polo fell through, just kind of like on the humbug, and listened to some stuff with us, and called me telling me that he wanted to manage me, which kind of led to more of a co-production, ghost producing kind of a situation. But yeah, I met him just kind of like the old-fashioned way, just kind of paying my dues and grinding. And, I think after a while, everybody in Atlanta just kind of saw me as one of the boys, one of the guys, because, after being out there for so long, I kind of came off as if I was pretty much an Atlanta cat. You know what I mean? Like, they all knew I was from Kentucky. You can ask any of them right now, they know I'm from Kentucky. I rep it to the bone gristle, but, they saw me around so much, and I kind of started from the bottom, so they accepted me. And, they kind of took a little bit of a liking to me. And, I had some good shit. So Polo kind of jumped down like, hey, I want to work with you, and he put me in the studio, and the rest is history. Like, I owe just as much to Polo as I owe to Static. I learned just as much from both of them. Polo kind of taught me sonically how to get my music sounding big and how to get it, get the quality of it done. And Static kind of taught me how to do the songs and have a hard drive and work ethic. So I kind of owe those two. Those two kind of made me. I can't really lie.
Okay. Now, I was looking through your discography and I checked out some of the tracks that you did. Give me the background info or just anything you remember from the studio session for these songs. The first one is "Play As the World Is Mine."
Man, it's like I don't know if you ever heard. It was a female artist that Static had called Yashameen Michaels.
Yep.
Yashameen was like my big sister, and I think we were fresh from finishing the Southern All Star album, and we were back in Louisville. They were coming through. Yash Native, Jay Bird, and Yash and I did a record. "The World Is Mine." It was actually Yashameen's song at first, and she took it like Static heard it, and Static was like, "Oh shit!" And we flew to LA to do it for Player, and it's crazy because. It's crazy that you brought that song up because there's so many good memories that come along with that song. It reminds me of Yash. I haven't seen Yash in years. Like, I need to get in touch with her. Hopefully, she reads this and we can link up. But we did the record and we did the record. Yash was like Yash was like Missy Elliott on. I don't want to say on crack because I don't want to downplay the Missy thing. Missy's my friend too, but Yash was like Missy's alter ego, like crazy, like you know what I mean, like something totally left of Missy, but kind of like the same vein. And she was just like super creative. And me and Yash did a bunch of songs, but that one in particular, I think I had a guitar player come through. One of my dudes from church came through, played a little lick, looped it up, and Yash just like killed it. Like, she took it to Static, and next time I was on the plane in LA, Smokey comes in, kills it with the ad libs. So that's what he does. Like Smokey come through in the clutch and just warm your shit up like nobody else. You know what I mean? And like Black, but Static was like, I think it was more of a Static record. He featured on it the most, but yeah, like that record, I love that record. That's like one of my favorites ever.
The next song that I want to ask you about is the Rihanna joint, "Fading."
Yep. Fading was a record I did. I think I did it. I want to say like 08, 09. We actually did it a while ago. A friend of mine named Q Amy, he wrote it. But it's crazy because my little brother brought me the sample WAP, the same WAP that Static was trying to sign back then. I had this sample. My brother had brought me the sample because my brother's like a stupid, like he's a good digger. He knows how to find those great samples. So we get the sample, we loop it up. I was actually trying to shoot that record to Jay-Z because before that I was hearing on some more anthem-y stadium music, like on a rap song, kind of big. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Run This Town kind of a joint. You know what I mean? So, but once Q came in and wrote it, and then we finished it, played the keys and did the bridge, I'm like, oh shit, this sounds like a Rihanna joint. And we always had Rihanna on our mind from when we first cut it. I took it to Polo. Polo heard it. He did his 1-2 thing to it. Dean came in and did some vocal arrangement on it, and ended up on Rihanna. It's actually one of my favorite. Like, it's one of my favorite songs of all time too. And it was kind of like a setting the bar for myself, letting me know that I was capable of doing these kind of records and putting them on artists like Rihanna. You know what I mean? So it kind of raised the bar for me, and it was like me proving something to myself. Like, okay, you can do it. You are good enough to be with the elite. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Something I find kind of interesting, you have some placements on Lil Wayne's new album, the songs that I mentioned, the Rihanna song and the Playa song. So you have a variety of, beats and stuff. And, like, what is the creative process like, and how do you kind of differentiate genres and stuff when you're making beats?
Well, I mean, the versatility in the music just comes from, I started off being a rap producer. Like, I did strictly rap music. And then Static, being an R&B producer, songwriter, vocalist, he taught me how to make songs in the R&B format. So I kind of came up under R&B cat as a rap producer. So that's where some of the versatility came in. You know what I mean? And it was like, I try to be different. Like, when I first started, I tried to try different things. Like, I didn't want to be a one trick guy. Like, I wanted to be able to do a bunch of things. I didn't want to have it over my head. One of the things that Static told me when I first met him is that I was an R&B producer. And it kind of stuck with me, and it kind of pissed me off, but at the end of the day, he made me better. because he sent me back to the drawing board, and I had to learn how to do it authentically. You know what I mean? So I try to. I think the versatility came from him, and then working with Polo. Polo pretty much did everything. Like he did. You know, Polo would do a Young Buck song, and then turn around and do a Nicole, Fergie song. You know what I mean? So working under that guy, I learned how to differentiate, and I learned that there's not too much of a difference between all of these genres. You know what I mean? So I think that's where the versatility comes in. I think that's where I kind of got it from. I got it from working under those two guys and learning how to be creative, and just learning that really what you're already doing already is there's no rules and there's no limitations. And you can take, Static used to write to rap songs all the time, so there is no one thing that keeps you in the lane if you know what you're doing. So I think that's where it came in. I think that's where the wide range comes from.
Okay. Now, who are you currently working with right now?
Right now I'm working with Sean Garrett. We're doing a bunch of stuff. Sean's writing for everybody all the time. So working with him. Shout out to Sean. My dog Ty Dolla Sign Pushes Inc. That's my dude. Like when I'm out here in LA, like we get it in, like stupid chemistry. I always working on E40. Like E40 puts something out every year until he ain't heard nothing. Like E40's just like he's drinking from the fountain of youth or something. So every year we doing something. We putting out 100 songs. You know what I mean? A year. So I'm always working on 40. In the process of doing some stuff, trying to get back on Rihanna's new album. I got an opportunity to be back on there again this year. So just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah. Those are all the questions that I had prepared for you. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
Oh, and I'm on Twist. I'm gonna be on Twist album. The Twist, I think it's called "Don't Get It Twisted."
Okay.
It's coming out November the 8th. So be looking for that. And of course, we always doing the Wayne stuff. But
yeah.
What else? What else we got going on? Check out OneWood Productions, OneWood-Productions.com. Follow me on Twitter, of course. Be checking for WAP. WAP is he's like my protege. WAP's 100 times better than me at producing, writing. He's just like a machine. So, you know what I mean? So be on the lookout for him, because that's what I'm working on before all of that shit. Like I'm working on him. I'm trying to get OneWood Productions off the ground. And that's the main thing. I was looking for writers. I was looking for more producers. I was looking for the next thing. So just check me out. Always OneWoodProductions.com. OneWood-Productions.